Hello and welcome to Perspectives. I'm your host, Rondrick Williamson. We've been on break for quite a while, actually about 6 months, and we're excited about season 2. This is going to be the best season ever. We have a lot of wonderful shows planned for you. Today's show, I'm going to talk to one of the funniest men that I've ever met. You might remember him from BET's The Monique Show. Also, he appeared in Tyler Perry's Big Happy Family, The Johnson Family Reunion, and BET's Comic View. Check out this clip.
My son into that crump dancing. Y'all seen this? The crump, and every time you look. That's his thing. He crumping. I don't know if y'all know anything about this dance, but you got to crump 24 hours a day. Every time you look at him, he getting it, you know. He be asleep sometimes. We was at church 2 Sundays ago. He over in the corner getting it, you know what I'm saying? I look up about 12 deacons to gather around. I'm like, that ain't the Holy Ghost. He dancing, you know what I mean?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome my friend, my man, funny man, Rodney Perry.
What's up, dog?
What's happening, man? Man, I'm glad you came out to talk to us today, man.
Man, thank you for having me, bro.
What's been going on with you, man?
What's been going on, man? A lot of stuff. I shot my comedy special. It's called Rodney Perry All the Way Live. I shot it earlier this year, and it's in the editing process right now, so I'm excited about that. It'll be on Showtime.
Okay.
And it's crazy because when I was in the moment, I was like, I was just living it, you know. And so now to go back and look at the edit and look at, you know, the final product, I'm really happy the way it's turning out. So I'm excited for the world to get a chance to see it.
Let's go back just a little bit. So you're not an Atlantean.
I'm not.
You transplanted from here.
Yeah,
I'm
from everywhere.
Chicago.
Chicago, Illinois, South Side, born and raised in Chicago, Cook County Hospital, you know, and you know, but you know, life takes us a lot of different directions. I've lived many places. I've lived, of course, Chicago, then my late teen years, we moved to Monroe, Louisiana. Shouts out to Monroe. They say I'll never, you know, shout them out.
Give them a shout out. Monroe, Louisiana.
Shouts out to Monroe, Louisiana. And, you know, after high school, I joined the military. So I was in the United States Navy, which took me to New Orleans for 4 years, and then the Bay Area for 4 years after that. Yeah.
So your experience in the, I was surprised when I read that you were in the Navy, actually.
Yeah.
You know, so what happened was there an event that led you to believe this is not what I want to do? I got to do something different.
Well, I kind of always knew. I mean, even while I was in the United States Navy, I was performing. I was doing stand-up. So, but you know, I was kind of, you know, we go through this life, and sometimes you're kind of halfway doing everything. And I was halfway doing my military life. I was halfway doing my stand-up life. So at 1998, I was at a crossroads, and I was at the point where I would continue and retire, you know, at 20 years. You know, I was at like 8 years. So I felt like if I did 4 more years, that would put me at 12, and after 12, why turn back?
Right, exactly.
So I was at the crossroads at 8 years, 1998, and I looked at my wife, I packed up my family, and we moved to LA, and we took the leap of faith, you know, to really go 100% at stand-up.
So let's go back a little bit. So you're saying the Navy really wasn't your passion?
No.
Really wasn't. So you're basically doing it just to do it?
The Navy was a necessity.
Right.
And I explained that. I want to say 1990, I was like 20 years old, you know, had a baby on the way, and my mother up to that point had really been taking care of me, and I couldn't see her taking care of me and mine. And I was walking to work at that time, I was working at a shoe store called Shoe Town. I was working the sweltering heat, Monroe, Louisiana, Shoe Town, headed to Shoe Town, and a recruiter picked me up and gave me a ride. And during that ride, he pitched the Navy to me. And I had considered the military out of high school, but at this point, I knew what was coming in my life. And probably 4 days later, I was in San Diego on boot camp. You know,
wow.
Yeah, when you go, you go.
Wow. So you left Monroe, or you left Chicago and went to Hollywood?
I left. Well, I didn't go to Hollywood in 1998. You know, and I was, you know, I was still in LA 2 years before I really started getting it. You know, and what I tell people is, you could take that leap of faith. Like I took the leap of faith in 1998 and got out of the military. That was a tough, because the military provides security.
Right.
You know, you got medical, dental, you know, and
everything you need, all
everything
benefits,
you need,
man. Benefits.
It's like living in mama house.
It's all about benefits.
Exactly. So in 1998, I made that leap. But what people don't tell you about the leap of faith is when you take that leap, on the other side of that leap is real life.
Exactly.
You know, so I still had to take care of my family, take care of my small budding family at the time. And I was doing temp work. I managed an apartment building. And I was temping at the VA. And I talk about this in my special too. I met a guy, he was an amputee. He was cut off at the knees. And he and I befriended each other over the time I was temping there. And he looked at me one day and said, "What are you doing here?" And I was like, "You know, I'm doing dead entry, dog." You know?
Right.
He said, "No, why are you in Los Angeles?" And I had to really stop and take an inventory of that. I said, "I'm here to you know, to be a comedian, to impact the world." He said, "Well, you can't do it here."
Right.
And I walked out of that temp job, and I ain't done nothing but stand-up comedy ever since.
So was that the turning point, the pivotal moment?
That was definitely one of the pivotal.
Right.
You know, a career is made up of 100 different moments.
Right.
You know, there was the moment where I got booed at the Comedy Store, you know, before I made the move.
Right.
That, you know, I don't know if y'all know boo, but regular jobs don't get booed. You know, and don't get me wrong, I think some people should get booed. You know, if you got a valet that spit off in your
right, he need to get booed.
You need to get booed.
Exactly.
Boo! You know, so I'm at the Comedy Store. So a friend that talked me onto the stage in Los Angeles, and I'm like, I'm about to do this, right? Went up, 45 seconds in, I'm getting booed. I don't know if it was my outfit or what, but I think in retrospect it was confidence.
Right.
So I'm on stage, I'm getting booed. I can see the guy, like as I'm telling you the story, I can see him. He right there, standing up. A sea of black people, the lone white man booed me. I'm like, really? Okay. Okay, white dude. He started booing me, and the science of the boo.
You should have went in on him though.
Exactly.
I know you probably
Conventional
did.
wisdom
Right.
say go in,
Right.
but the boo is like wildfire. You go in on that area, and it's another little patch of fire bust up. So it's boo, and then a boo, and then a boo, and all of a sudden now you can't control it.
Right.
So the host came out, man. Guy Torrey, you know, Joe Torrey, Guy Torrey came out, and he was like, "Man, you can't talk to my crowd like that, dude, man. You know."
But tell your crowd don't boo you though.
No, this ain't your night. Thank you. So I walked off the stage. I'm standing behind the sheer curtain, and I'm looking like, this is not why I came here. And in that moment, somebody in the audience said, "Well, he didn't get a chance." Somebody else said, "Well, he went up there but like 45 seconds, you know." And he brought me back out, and he introduced me, and I did the joke that I was going to close with, and I got a laugh.
Finally.
And I took a deep breath, and I said, "You know what? I think that's all I'm going to get out of y'all tonight. My name is Rodney Perry. I'm out." But that was the moment. That's the real moment that I said, one, I'm going to pack my stuff up and move to LA, and two, I'll be doing stand-up comedy the rest of my life.
So when you were in LA, were you received well by the other comedians? I know this is a tough business, a real tough business to break into. The veteran or the seasoned comedians, how did they receive you?
Well, this is the thing, man. And, you know, for any young comic that'll watch this, I mean, before I moved to LA, I had opened for a lot of people. I was an opening act for a lot of people. And I thought that I had developed the relationships that would help me in LA. But when I got there and people found out I was living there, it was like you became another guy that was in their way.
Right.
And so I remember one guy in particular, you know, I was like, he's like, "What's up, man? What you doing here?" It was like a Tuesday or Wednesday. So, you know, people pop in town, it's a weekend. Right. So he's like, "What you doing here?" I'm like, "I'm out here now." I was excited. I was like, "I'm out here, man." He's like, "Oh." And walked off. And I was like, I thought this was my friend. You know, I had people that I was a fan of talk crazy to me. I say his name, Arnez J. He was not nice to me, dude. When I first met him, I was so excited because I love comedy. So I'm a fan first. And I was like, "Mr. J, you know, man, you great job." He was like, "Shh. Nigga, do I know you?"
Wow.
I was like, wow. And walked off. I was like this.
So everything is good until you're in their backyard, pretty much.
I mean, I won't put that on everybody. Right. But those are some isolated instances. There's a lot of great people that have mentored me. You know, I've got a great pedigree from George Lopez, who was the first guy to take me on the road, to Sid the Entertainer, who showed me what it was like to be a star. You know, like I went on tour with Sid, and he had limos pick us up and take us to the airport and pick us up on the other end, and we drove you know, first class flights and, you know, the nicest hotels. He showed me that. And Steve Harvey, who I got a chance to write for, he showed me the business. Like Steve Harvey is the consummate businessman. And then of course Monique, who I got a chance to work with, you know, as of late, who embodies all of those great qualities, but tempers everything with love. So, you know, I got a pretty good pedigree when it comes to this comedy game.
So speaking of Monique, how did that relationship start?
Oh man, how did it start? Oh, we had, our community of course is very small. Monique and I had, she saw me, she had an assistant. She had an assistant that was a fan of Rodney Perry. And she's like, Mo, you gotta see this dude. And she's like, okay. And they came out and saw me. So I'm sitting in my little 3-bedroom apartment playing Madden the way I do. I like to get down. And I get a call. And I pick it up. She's like, hello? It's like, hello. Like, this is Monique. I'm like,
So Monique actually called you.
I'm like, Monique who? She's like, Monique. I'm like, okay, great. So we had a short conversation, and in that conversation, she was like, man, she's like, I love the way you talk about your family. I love the fact that you're not afraid. She said, Rodney, don't take this the wrong way, but can I take your wife on a shopping spree?
Wow.
I'm like, yeah. She took my wife out, spent upwards of $2,000 in our home.
Wow.
Amazing. This is the first time I seen this lady face to face. I was floored by her generosity. So I got her back on the phone. My wife came back, and I'm like, how do I pay you back? And she said, you don't pay me back. Someday you'll be able to bless some comic the way I'm blessing you. And so that's my intro to this lady.
Right.
So our relationship would cultivate and grow over the years. And when she got the opportunity to do television, she asked me to come. But we had done radio.
Way before, it was a syndicated show, right?
Yeah, we did a syndicated radio, I want to say just 3 or 4 months before we did TV. We did radio. She was on already, and she had a guy that was her co-host, and for whatever reason that wasn't working out. And they kind of start looking for somebody else. And I'll tell you what the time frame was. We were about to elect Barack Obama, and they were doing a voting drive out in the public like we are now. And we were on the air. We had a great chemistry. And so I got a call to come in the day after the election. So we elected Barack Obama on a Tuesday. My first day in the studio was Wednesday. Now, let me rewind you in my life. I did radio in LA for 3 years for free, right?
Free?
For free. And that happened because I was promoting my own comedy show at a club. And so you would go in one day, Friday, and promote that night. Well, one night became 2 nights, which became a week, which became a month. And you look up, it's a year later, and you look up again, it's 3 years later.
Right.
And people talked about me. What you doing going up there every day? You know they ain't getting your money. You stupid. Are you dumb, man? I can't believe you dumb, man. Stupid. God, you know, talked about me. But I felt like it was still building my brain.
Right.
And
it was leading to somewhere, actually.
It was leading to something, but I didn't know what it was.
Right.
So when I get the opportunity to go in the studio with Monique for the first day, I kind of got that baggage. You know what I mean? I'm thinking, you know, is this the first day of another 3 years of free radio? Right. And, you know, my wife's such a gangster, man. I told my wife my concern. She said, do you really think the woman that took me out on the shopping spree would let you work for 1 day free, let alone 3 years?
She just spent $2,000.
I said, you know, that's why I mess with you, because you know, you kind of gangster. Okay,
right.
So first day come and go, second day come and go. At the end of the third day, her husband, Monique's husband, Sydney, pulled me to the side. Now I'm scared. Now I'm thinking I'm about to get fired.
Right.
You know, I don't know if you ever been pulled to the side, but pulled to the side.
Oh yeah, I've been pulled to the side. Yeah, it ain't.
Right.
That's like going to the principal's office.
See,
right.
He said, Rod, man, we love your chemistry with Monique, man. We want to know if you would like to be a part of our team. I'm about to say yeah. Before I could say yeah, he said, man, I got to be honest with you, man. Before you say anything, we can only do like a 6-figure salary.
I would have said only.
Sign me up, man.
That's right. That's
you know.
Signed me up yesterday.
Yeah, and we rocked that. We did that That was in November. November, December, January, February, March. March is over. Show canceled.
Wow.
But Monique is such the gangster trooper. She was like, Rodney, don't trip. Bigger and better things are coming.
But that's why I want to ask, what happened with the show, though? I mean,
well, with the TV show, that's a,
yeah.
You fast forward it. Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
well, with the TV show, man, I don't know. You know, you just come in one day and your badge don't work.
Oh, yeah.
No, I got a call. I guess it's almost a year ago now, right now as we speak, and they said that the show was being put on indefinite hiatus. I haven't been back since then, so I'm gonna say we got fired.
Right.
I mean, that's a hell of a layoff.
Exactly.
You know? But I think it was probably some differences on some level, you know, and it's kind of above my pay grade. You know, all I know is them little BT checks was good.
Right. I could imagine.
We had a bunch of them too. So, you know, but what it did for me, it allowed me to build my brand even further. It allowed people to know my name when I walk into a room, and that's gold for me because at the end of the day, I'm a stand-up comic.
Right.
So all it is for me is building. You know, every opportunity, whether it be television, film, improv, sketch, all those things help build the collective brand.
Right.
So, you know, I'm thankful to BET and Monique for giving me opportunity, man.
Right.
And now we looking to produce and build for the next thing.
And that's a good thing. So you stand-up comic, actor. So Tyler Perry's movie, Medea's Big Happy Family.
Medea's Big Happy Family.
Yeah. Tell me about that. How did that happen, man?
Well, everything for me is going through the engine of my comedy. The stand-up comedy is the engine that's driven, you know, whether it be radio, television, film. And so with that particular project, I took a show at the Uptown Comedy Corner here in Atlanta. I didn't want to do it. They offered me some money I didn't want, but it was a Tuesday and Wednesday. I said, you know, let me go down here. I would tell jokes for free, so I'm gonna go do it. I went down there, did the Tuesday, did the Wednesday. Late show Wednesday, Roger Bob, who at that time was Tyler Perry's right-hand man, he was running the
I was able to meet him
there
a couple weeks ago, actually.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Roger Bob came and saw me because we had a mutual friend. And at the end of the show, and it was a crazy, dope show, at the end of the show, he's like, Rod, I'm gonna give you a call tomorrow. And I was like, okay. People say that all the time.
Yeah.
And I got a call from his office. Hey, can you come in and read for the role of Harold of Medea's Big Happy Family? Unbeknownst to me, they had been trying to cast this role for months. They had table reads with different guys. It was some scheduling conflicts for some cats. It was other things, but long story short, it was lining up for me. So I go in there on a Thursday. I get the sides, the paperwork, the audition material, about 7 pages of dialogue. I read it. I know this dude. I know him.
Right.
You know, I've been married 15 years. I know this dude. I know what it's like to be with somebody every day and to be in and out of love. And,
yeah, so you can relate to it.
I knew him.
Yeah.
So I immediately related to him. And I had done an episode of Meet the Browns, so I knew the casting lady that I was going to read with. So I knew I had complete confidence going in with her because she was so cool. So I go in, I read, I audition. They like, oh, Rod, that was good. You know what? Stay right there. She called Reuben Cannon, who was Tyler Perry's left-hand man. Reuben Cannon, go and read. Now, Reuben Cannon, Small World, is the guy that cast me for Johnson Family Vacation.
I was going to ask about that next, actually.
Okay, so Reuben Cannon cast me for that. Well, not directly, but he was the main casting guy. So that was immediately media contact, and he was from Chicago. So he asked me a couple of questions before we read. So where you from? Chicago. Chicago? Blah, blah. Okay, boom. You make them quick context. You connect them dots for him.
Right.
And matter of fact, Mr. Cannon, you the one that cast me. Oh, get out of here. That was you.
Right.
Yeah. So it's all coming together. Right. So I read. I go home. Nothing that day, which was Thursday. Nothing Friday. At this point, they shooting on Monday. I'm saying it ain't gonna happen.
Right.
I got my boy J-Dub on the line. We talking on the phone, and he's like, "Yo, Rod, man." He's like, "What's going on?" I said, "Man, I just went in for this Tyler Perry thing, but I don't think it's gonna happen." No sooner than I said that, the phone rang. Tyler Perry Studios on the call ID. I said, "Dog, I gotta let you go." Clicked over. Hey, man. Rodney Perry, I want to say congratulations, man. You booked the role of Harold on Medea's Big Happy Family.
Wow.
I was shooting, first scene out, that Monday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Small amount of time to prepare for
when
it.
It happened, it happened.
Yeah, yeah. You just got to be ready, man. You got to be ready.
You stay ready, you ain't got to get ready.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So now, you're doing a lot. I mean, you travel, you're just in Japan, right?
Yeah.
And so you had a show over there, and I know you're teaching improv classes at the Green Room.
I don't really fashion myself as a teacher. I think what we do at the Green Room, it's called Rodney Perry Never Deny. And Terry J. Vaughn came to me because I did a stand-up comedy workshop there. And she said, Rodney, I really need some improv to augment what my actors are getting. And I was like, you know what? I'll take that challenge. And so I did my research, and improv is really my base. You know, I was doing improv before I was doing stand-up. And so I know it informs you on a lot of levels, whether you're an actor, you're a comedian, or you're just walking around in real life. It builds confidence, it does a lot of those great things. So I'm more of a guy that's sharing an experience with a group of people. And every week we have a ball in there, man.
So
you joined.
Yeah, I've joined the class
You
too.
the man.
We do have
You one of them dudes. I'm
trying to be.
I know this your show.
No. I'm trying to be the man. I'm trying to be the man.
But you have a great comic sensibility, but more than that, you make great choices. And I think that's what it's about, is making those choices and not being afraid to make those choices in the moment.
Right. I appreciate that, man. So for those actors and actresses that may be watching today, do you think it's important to be well-rounded, as far as some actors and actresses say, oh, I want to do drama, I want to do theater. Is it important to be well-rounded? A little drama, a little theater, whatever, a little improv, or does that build a better product as opposed to saying I'm going to focus or pigeonhole myself and go this route?
To every individual, this is what I tell people. What I'm telling you is right, but it's exactly wrong at the same time, because every individual has their own path to go down. Some people, you know, I was talking to a guy the other day, he's like, I don't want to be on Twitter. And I'm like, I don't think you have a choice. You know, I think it's integral to who we are now. But his take on it was that that he wanted to maintain that mystique. I was like, you don't be mistaken by your damn self.
Exactly.
You know, but I get it. And so to answer your question is that I personally think the more well-rounded you are, the better. You know, Clifton Powell once told me, I said, Clifton, what's the secret to this game? He's like, I don't turn down no jobs. Theater, television, film, radio, you know, whatever, commercial.
Anything, whatever comes, man.
So it's like you just said before, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. And I'm a fan of being focused, but I think God gives us a ton of gifts. So I think you rock your big gift and you let your big gift make way for your smaller gifts.
Right.
You know, so I'm a stand-up first, but stand-up has afforded me opportunities in other areas that augment my stand-up.
Right.
So it kind of all works together. So I would say to the actress or actor, you know, be ready. Be ready. You know, whether that be, you know, preparation is the key. You know, prepare, and then let it go.
Right.
And just be in the moment.
Right. Let me ask this question. You were, let's go back to the Navy. You were in a position where you were getting a steady check, like you said, you had the benefits, but then you felt that that really wasn't what you needed to be doing. Now, when you chose to make the decision to go out to LA, how was that well received by your peers? Because I can imagine. I can imagine.
Let's not even talk about my peers. What about my wife?
Well, your wife, your family.
My wife was like, I don't want to go to LA.
Right. I can imagine. Okay, you're leaving something that's known, for something that's totally unknown, and that can be a struggle in and of itself.
It's scary.
Really scary.
Very scary. The best story for that is my mother, who is one of my best friends. My confidant, and I told her what I was about to do, and she went off. I don't know what I ain't even never seen. She went in on me, right?
Right.
And she drugged me for about 15 or 20 minutes. And who gonna take care of them kids? You ain't got them, you had them benefits, and you got, what happened to the tooth fall out? What you gonna do? And she went in on me, and I took it all in, and I was like, Mom, I appreciate your input, but I gotta do this. And she would tell me probably about 2 weeks later, she was like, one, son, I wanna apologize to you. And two, I felt like I had to put that pressure on you because if you would have folded under my pressure, you wouldn't have been ready to take the pressure of what you about to embark on. So you just got to be, there is no success without some sort of leap of faith.
Right.
Flat out.
Right.
I say that to anybody in a profession.
Yeah.
You know, it's a lot of people. Of course, you know, I do interviews on my internet radio show, and the common thread I see in people is the people that aren't willing to take that little leap of faith. They usually stagnate and stay in one little area the rest of their life.
So if there's one thing you could leave with the viewers, what would it be?
Don't strip. Yeah. We didn't get into that chapter of my life, but
we might need to go there.
Yeah, don't do that. If I can leave anything with you, stay off the pole. I'm joking. Get on the pole if you want to. That's actually a fitness craze now. I'm polling myself. No, if I can leave anything, just be willing to work hard.
Yeah.
Be willing to work hard. Treat this like your business. You know, whatever, you know, whether it's, you know, being a host or being a comedian or actor or whatever your individual life endeavor is, just let that be your business. I mean, I eat, sleep, and breathe as, you know, if I'm not on the internet, you know, moving forward that way, I'm traveling, you know, I still go out and do open mics, you know, the young college, what you doing here? I'm like, I'm getting it just like you.
Exactly.
You know, because I don't believe that work ever stops. And if you work hard, you'll get some reward. It's just what it is.
Well, man, we appreciate you coming out, man.
Man, we ain't nobody but you here. What the hell? Is this about people? It's all about perspective.
That's all it's about, man. That's all it's about.
Thank you, bro.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
Hey, we thank you for joining us on today. Listen, go to Rodney Perry's website. I think it's RodneyPerry.com. Check him out. You've been watching Perspectives, where you're not only informed, but inspired. See you next time.